Welcome in, Greg Ruff and Coach Kevin Carroll, men's basketball team here at Trevecca, and looking at the Auburn-Montgomery game. Got a good win over Montevallo. Would be remiss if we didn't mention that, and just a little bit of time has passed since then, so you reflect a little bit more about it. And the further we've gotten away from it more, I'm like, that was a really good win.
Yeah, it
The
really
margin
was.
very impressive, I
Yeah,
think.
no, it really was. First off, I'd be remiss if I didn't, say how grateful I was for the crowd that we had
Yeah.
and the energy that we had and the students section that was so prevalent in the game, and it was just a great night to be a Trojan,
Absolutely.
And obviously, anytime I think you can set the tone defensively the way that we did and make 17 threes, the game becomes pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
So
17 threes in particular makes a huge difference.
yeah, simple
Talk a
enough.
little bit about, while we got a minute here, talk about Gary Van Atta and the women's program coming back to recognize him, and he was a former Trojan as well,
Yeah.
captain of Ron Bargatze's teams, and then also about Ron Bargatze's team. I don't know how much you've researched that, but in the history of Trevecca athletics, that's one of the most impressive years that you see when the mindset of Trevecca athletics changed.
Yeah.
And he was here for 1 year, but he made people believe that Trevecca could matter in athletics, and it carried on from then.
Well, he did that, and what's even more amazing is that someone who spent 1 year here as a head coach has remained so invested in Trevecca
Yeah.
athletics and Trevecca Nazarene University for so long. Honestly, like when I got hired here, he was one of the first people that just kind of took me under his wing and kind of pointed me in the right direction with a lot of things, and gave me some really good advice. And he's somebody that I'm really thankful for, and I'm in my life, and for what he means to Trevecca. And Gary Van Etta, what an unbelievable coach, and what he did here during his time here. It's pretty cool to be able to him to come back when they played Montevallo, where he also
Yeah.
coached. And what was amazing is it's a Thursday night. I'm sure it's hard for people to get around and do things, but just see the amount of former players that
Yeah.
came back
Yeah.
for those two men really speaks volumes to the importance that a coach plays in the lives of young people.
Absolutely. Your guys are playing hard for you right now, and it's easy to say Jakari Johnson. Well, it wasn't easy for me last night, but apparently I wanted to call him Jalen. But Jalen, Jakari, those are two that stand out. They both scored 20 points. Eighth time they've done it. You're 7-1 in those games. But you have other guys on the team that are accepting the roles that they have and being willing to step in when the opportunities are there.
Yeah, and I think it's easier when you win to say you've got a connected group.
Yeah.
But I
sure.
really do feel like this group has been really connected. And a lot of people see, Jalen out there scoring or making shots or dunking or whatever. What people don't see is how much more he has matured in his game, in his practice habits, in his leadership, and all those things, even from last year.
Yeah.
I told him the other day when we were sitting down for one of our meetings, is just how proud I was of him on the growth that has taken place even in the 12 months he's been here, essentially. So and there's so many guys that have kind of stepped up, and I think we're starting to figure some things out. It's a new era of college basketball. You got not a lot of new players. We've had a pretty big injury that's kind of had to make us change kind of who we are a little bit, and just guys that have starting to figure that out and accepting of those roles. It's been fun, but hey, we've still got 10 more games to play, so we've got a long ways to go.
And you've got Auburn-Montgomery today. You've played them already. We're in the second half of the conference season.
Yeah.
So you've seen everybody. You've played everybody. You played Auburn. It was a fantastic game to watch. I know we talked afterwards. It was not an easy game to coach in because it was tight. But just talk about that game and then now how to play them here.
Well, listen, they're as physical and big around the goal. I mean, they have the best post player in the conference, in my opinion. Really athletic, big, strong guards. A lot of that stuff we've not done particularly well against this year at times. And, you would like to hope that maybe we've gotten better since we played them last time. But honestly, that was probably a game we should have lost and very well easily could have lost. And So it'll be another tough game. There's no easy games in this deal.
No.
Every night, it's like I tell our team, every night when you go out, if you're not prepared to play well, you're probably should be prepared to lose. So, we'll give it our best effort again today.
That's Kevin Carroll. I'm Greg Rumpf. You're watching Trevecca basketball. More coming up next here on Flow College.